So let's get started. Let's take a look at some changes that we're all facing in terms of the world that our kids are entering into as they graduate college. So here are some statistics I found from the census information and some other sites on the internet. By 2050, 24% of our population will be Hispanic. And along with that comes a language change. The Middle Eastern population has grown by 40% since the 1980s, and 9/11 had no negative impact on that growth. None. So it is still showing double-digit growth. The Asian Indian population has grown 38% since 2001. And then finally, over 5 million Americans live and work overseas, and that's excluding military. So we can see some changes in how we are definitely going global. How many of you are seeing a lot of this evidenced in your classrooms? Okay. And how many of you are prepared for talking about it, integrating it, and dealing with it in your classrooms through your curriculum? Through your own volition or through what the state is giving you or what your school systems are giving you. Sometimes it's a challenge when we look at the changing population. Sometimes it's a challenge for our kids. Again, I teach at the university level, and it's a challenge at the university level when we're dealing with a lot of students who are coming into the program and maybe do not have a good foundation of the English language. Maybe do not have a good foundation of the English language to write well when I teach writing classes, and a lot of their grades are based on grammar skills. So it makes it very challenging. Aging population. There's planning to be, we'll see what happens with the economy, a pretty big workforce exodus as our baby boomers age and go toward retirement. And it's only just beginning. We baby boomers stick on, screaming with our claws, because we don't want to give it up. And I am just at the back end of the baby boomers, so I can claim that. Shift demands for types of jobs. As the population ages, what types of jobs are going to become more and more popular and in demand? Technology. We're going to talk a lot about technology, as a matter of fact. What else? Green. Green. Healthcare. Healthcare is big. Familiar with Cardinal Health? Right now they are ramping up in their hiring, bringing on all sorts of HR, recruiters, training and development. They know what's coming. And then knowledge management. How we capture the knowledge of our exiting workforce. And that's critical for most companies, and that is one of the high priorities in most companies is, how do I go around for these people that have worked for me for 10, 15, 20 years, capture what they know so my business can progress? Some of that's going to be through technology, some of that's going to be through communication skills, some of that's going to be through different ways to capture that information, or to continue working with those people at some level, maybe part-time. How can your students be part of that technology capture or that knowledge capture? How can they learn? We're going to talk a little bit about a type of informational interviewing that we need to be teaching them to do. All right, so digital natives, digital immigrants. How many of you know what these are? I've heard these phrases. Digital natives, by the way, are the ones sitting in your classrooms. Digital immigrants might be most of us, or some of us. So a digital native is somebody who was born into and has only known technology. They're the ones who almost practically came out of the womb with a game in their hand. They know cell phones. They can text with one hand without looking. How many of you can do that? How many of you find yourselves when you're texting, actually, if you're doing it while you're driving, going off the side of the road or whatever? These are the ones who can text, talk on the phone, answer email, and do all these other things at the same time. And most of us are going to sit here and go, you can't multitask effectively. Tell this group. Effectively may be the key word, but they're multitasking.